Johnny's motorcycle, and this is Chuck from Michigan and his grandson.
Hi.
And he's had this motorcycle for quite some time. Tag says 87 on the back. The bike's pretty much stock. Got a different seat on it. We got a header on it. We actually have some Kawasaki accessory shocks on it. We got a crash bar in the front and little things like that. Air cleaners are a little different. But we're going to see about getting this thing running and try to do a nice unrestored restoration on this one. Make a nice everyday rider out of it. You notice this bike originally started out brown. You can see some brown here. And the sun faded it to the green. Got a little bit of rust here and there. Motor turns over. Got a kind of primitive center stand stopper, which we make those, but a little bit different than that.
Right. Yeah, the guy even put a little piece of a garden hose to catch the kickstand.
Okay. At least it's green, or was green.
Yeah, right. With electrical tape.
We got some chrome on here, which would be a good idea if we took the chrome off. And we're going to try to find some nicer polished covers. And the bike really looks decent. If we go under the seat here, we've got the original band here. We've got everything is pretty good. We've got the breather right here coming off the back, so we're gonna put a little breather filter on that because this is kinked up right here. And this is a crankcase vent, so this could cause some issues right here where it's kinked. So we're going to do away with that, put something decent on there. We still have the genuine Kawasaki air cleaner stay right here for the air box.
Right.
That's looking pretty good. And we got the battery box, it's nice and intact. And we've got the plastic tray for it here, which is hard to find. Now these two holes here, in 75, they did not have the automatic chain oiler.
Oh, is that what that's for? It mounts there?
Yeah.
I've seen them.
73, 74 had a tank right here. It had a line going down into it, and underneath here, it had an oil pump.
Just a drip kind of?
Kind of. So this is where it oiled the chain. Now, if we look at the side cover over here, on the right side, 75 still had the hole.
Oh, right, yeah.
But they didn't have anything there. This is where the dipstick went for the oil.
I've seen that on some other ones that you've shown.
Okay. So if we come to this side of the motorcycle, the rims are kind of nasty, but they may clean up, they may not. We'll have to take a look at all that.
There's no way those are original tires, are there?
No.
Because those are Continentals, I still believe, and I remember you saying that that's what they put on them.
We had an F6 tire in the front and a K87 on the rear was genuine. But we got a nice genuine VIN number here. We got a nice genuine VIN number up front here. Steering pin is absolutely perfect. It's got the correct lower triple clamp on it because we got the hole here for the steering dampener.
Was that an option?
They didn't come stock, but they had the steering dampener that went to this bracket right here and underneath. We've restored some bikes and put these on it, but we never...
Was the reason for at a high speed you'd get a shake in it? Is that what that was for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what we'll do is when we take all this apart, we're going to put Timken style bearings in there. Now they got the balls in there.
Correct. Yeah, I remember that.
So you want to do that.
Leave the oil cooler, clean it up.
I would definitely leave the oil cooler, clean it up. Now, the Kirker header, this isn't bad. We're going to tap it with a hammer all over and make sure it's not going to go through.
Sure.
But this would be a nice, there's a ceramic coating you can put on these. I'll show you a bike inside that I had it done too.
Here's where I told you on the truck. Now you got to bend way down, but you can see it hit unloading on a ramp and put a little dent in that.
It's possible that we can fix that. Possible.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Okay, I like this here because I don't see any crash damage because these ears here, where the forks go,
right.
Usually if they've had crash damage, this is busted.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, we'll replace all this stuff and everything, but usually these are all busted. So, and if you're gonna, like for our people out here that want to buy these bikes, always go to the left all the way, always go to the right all the way. That way we can tell if it's been in an accident, because if we turn the wheel all the way and it hits the gas tank, then there's an issue.
Yeah, remember I told you, now see, this has got a bend in it, and even where this must have made contact.
We can do all that. I make these locks, these nuts, and
Okay.
we have the studs replated. I got all this replated.
Fantastic.
So I think we can turn this into a nice, nice everyday rider hot rod. It's got a good sound to it, and
Good. Oh, I love the sound of that.
I would definitely retain these grips that you have on there, because these are gorgeous. Even though we got a little hole here, they should have a small pinhole in them
Oh yeah.
where it says "Made in Japan."
Yeah, this one is still good yet.
But still, this is fine. I wouldn't change that. And we make all the stuff here.
I've seen that. Yeah, good, good.
So
Would you do something with the current set of handlebars, or put a new set on?
we have replaceable ones, yeah.
Okay.
They're like less than $50.
Sure. Sounds good.
Some stuff it's you're going backwards if you get it.
Yeah.
Chrome,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the only other thing I like to do.
So what you're saying is this has been chromed,
Yes.
but you'd rather see it polished?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you can't do anything with that. You have to replace it.
Yeah, they have a reverse process to get the chrome off.
Okay, so it could still be the original covers.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that.
Okay.
And then we got this is kind of busted up on the right side here. That just happens.
Oh, okay. I
And
see.
looks like someone put an oil pressure gauge on it.
Yeah,
at one time.
there was never one on it. That's how I got it.
So we'll put a plug on there.
Okay.
But the basic motorcycle, I don't see any broken fins. Exhaust does look good. We make all these bolts.
Okay.
We have these holders here. You got the original wires because you got the number here, but
Yep.
you just don't have the right ends.
Oh, I see.
But we can fix that
Oh,
too.
really? Okay. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So a lot of the stuff is, in my opinion, you got the best start that you could possibly have.
I'm glad to hear
Plus,
that.
you've got history with it, so
Right,
that's
right.
all the better still. So
Yeah.
anyway, we're gonna start on this. So we'll get her cleaned up, and we'll put some S100 on it and see how it looks. And
Thanks
we'll
for
go from
taking
there.
the time to
Thanks
look
for
at my
bringing it
bike
down.
over.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, this is Chuck 75Z1. We're getting ready to start on this bike today, and as you can see, a little on the dirty side, but I think that being on a little on the dirty side may have protected it a little bit. Got a little bit of dry rotting on the tires and stuff, but our goal here is we're gonna just try to clean it up and see how everything turns out. It still has original paint. The original paint's faded, but we're on the fence here, and we're going to talk with Chuck about this also, and we're going to see where he wants to go with it. I'm on board about getting it running and just making it look good again, and have it look like a unrestored everyday rider. Of course, replace a bunch of the rusty parts and stuff like that, and replace a bunch of bolts. But our goal here is to make it an actual runner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to clean it up, and we're going to do a S100 demonstration on this that's going to blow you away. We've been using our stuff for years, and we're going to do it on this one. This is what we're going to use. This S100 comes with the sponge and everything, and you got the sprayer. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray it all over the bike. And then we're going to take, after we get it all sprayed down and let it soak in, we're going to take like a 5-gallon bucket of water and a SOS pad. And we're going to go through all the chrome. Of course, we're not going to do anything that's painted. But we're going to go over the chrome with the SOS a little bit, the rims, the lower legs. And we're going to see actually what we have and what we don't have. Now, the customer has given us a gorgeous seat for it. We got the side panels. Of course, we're going to place all this. See how this is moving. So, I mean, we're going to replace all this stuff. Anytime you got a Z1 and you can move the rubbers, it's time to replace them. Obviously, this one here is missing, and so is this one. So, this is like borderline, like, let me out of here. I got to go, So we're going to go over all this, and then what we're going to do is, because we have the open area here, even though it's not a running bike, we're still going to take off these air cleaner covers, or these air cleaners, and we're going to tape up the inlet of the carburetor here. Okay, just for my own general purposes, I need to know what's happening here, because we noticed that we can go down the Kickstarter. So I'm on the crankshaft. Never try to turn it over on this little bolt here, because you'll bust it off if you got an issue. Go to the big one here, the big nut, and we can go. It moves a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what's wrong here. However, we're going to investigate it. So we're going to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll get into this. Okay, Chuck. We kind of got a start on it. We've been letting this stuff here sink in. The back is so thick, and the motor compartment down here in the carburetor is so thick. We're going to wash that first, and then we're going to use the S100 again on it. But you can see here, and then look up front how nice it's all coming out. I imagine the rear fender, the rear fender's a little on the rough side, but just kind of want to show you where we're getting with it. So we'll continue to put the treatment on it, and later on today we'll have some more progress, and just kind of wanted to show you where it's at. But boy, what a difference. The S100 works good, and it definitely penetrates without damaging the paint and stuff. So this is pretty cool stuff. Here's your lever. We need to rebuild all this and everything, but just kind of wanted to, can't stop looking at this bike. I'm kind of really interested in it. The S100 really made this look a lot better. I mean, we still got some places to go with it, but the S100 did a nice job. I got some suggestions. I always have this thing called a perfect world. What I would do would be, I think this motor is nice as it sits. I mean, you could clean this motor up, but then you're talking a complete job. Okay, as we showed you earlier, the motor turns just a little bit. So what I think we should do would be, I'd like to see what the deal is. We need to pull the cylinder head off and find out what's happening. Now, I got some suspicions that it was kind of getting moist or something where it was, because we got a hole in the header right here. Wherever my finger's at, you can see a hole. This is a good header. Besides that, now I want to pull it off and inspect it, obviously, but Kirker was a good brand. See where it says Kirker stamped right here? And you got the right Kirker bracket. I mean, that was good stuff when it was around. So I'd like to get it running first and see what's happening. And I personally would love to see keep his frame and stuff as is. Maybe we'll clean it up a little bit. I want to inspect the frame to see if it's rusted or anything, but I suspect it's pretty solid. So if you look real close here, you can see the chrome coming off the aluminum and starting to decay a little bit. You can never fix this. It'll never be fixable. This is busted here, so I would say what I would do would be, why don't we put the right covers on it and stuff, because these are kind of gooned because they're chromed. So why don't we replace the covers, put polished aluminum stuff on. That way you're not going to have to ever worry about this again. And I'm suggesting putting the regular Phillips screws back in it to make it look pretty cool. And then we'll probably replace these. I make this kit here for the head, or for the cam cover, whatever you want to call it. This is something pretty fancy here. If you like this, I think we can leave these. We'll just have to do an ohm check on them and see where we're at with them. Or we could go to like the NGK ones. Your call. I don't know what these are for sure, but it looks pretty cool. The intake rubbers, they're starting to dry rot here a little bit. You can see where the rubbers come off right here and stuff. of course, go through the carburetors, get the right tops for these because the chrome's coming off on those too. So I think we make it nice, uniform bike. You know, clean, put a different cover on here, see where the chrome's peeling here on the breather. And there's a lot of stuff, but what we really need to do first of all is we need to find out why the motor's only turning a little bit. The rest of the cosmetic stuff is easy. Obviously the tires are dry rotted, the handlebars are gooned where the chrome came off. You know, I want to say dress all this up, but I think the bike's in a lot better shape than you would think. I mean, obviously we got the chrome coming off here, chrome's coming off here. This is good chrome because that was metal chromed. The you know, kind of be your call here on this. I would probably put a different chain guard on it. And I mean, we can really detail this out and get rid of all this stuff. That's pretty easy to do. And these were originally cadmium plated instead of chrome on this particular model. So, and the rear rim is gone. I mean, you're not going to fix that. And you know, I would think let's look at the frame a little bit. Let's look at the motor a little bit. Let's get it running first and talk about it. And of course, you know, we'll make sure it charges and all that stuff. But I say what we should do is pop the head and let's see what's happening. I would just make this a nice runner with some plated parts. You know, think about what you want to do with this. I'd probably hold off on that for a little bit. And now's the time to think about a new front fender. You don't want to really get the stuff re-chromed because the Japanese chrome is really good. But I just kind of want to show you where we're at with it. We're getting ready to rip into this thing here in a couple days here. We're just finishing up some projects, so just wanted to tell you where we're at. And like, we have a good seat for it and good side covers. I personally like the paint as is, but if you want to do a complete facelift and get painted parts and stuff, you can. The only issue I have with it is you can buy the reproduction body parts, but the only trouble is you have to take and cut this down to get your tool tray to fit in the aftermarket cowling, or what do you want to call it, rear fender cowling or something like that. So that's just some options I'm throwing out there at you. But and you got some pitting and stuff here. We can really doll it up good, but I think for us, I think I want to get the let's get it running, see what's happening, and go from there. But no matter what, we're going to fix it anyway because it's matching stuff and it's the perfect bike to restore or make whatever you want to make out of it. But we also want to talk to you about an exhaust pipe too. You're going to need one of those. We could probably patch that up, but it's only a matter of another 6 months or so, and you're going to have issues with it again, and that's not really where we want to be either. So, okay, Chuck, we got your bike on the operating table today. I want to show you a few things. Over here, as we showed you earlier, the motor turned just a little bit, but not much, like about this much. So anyway, Hilo pulled these spark plugs out of it, and these are rusty. So that's a serious indication that there's some issues here. So here's your fuel valve. This is red goop, I call it. It stinks. It's gasoline. It's petrified. See how it's coming out right now? Coming out right here a little bit. It's sticky. This is like the end of the world. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fix this petcock or not, and I don't really recommend it because of the value of the motorcycles and everything, and safety reasons. I'd put the Pingo on it. Now we got Hilo over here. He's adding some solvent to the gas tank. We've got a plug here on the bottom left side, and this is our metal rescue here. And we're gonna let this set. This can be up to a couple week process so we can clean out your tank and make it really nice, and then we'll pressure wash it and everything. But we always like to start on this stuff because we're actually multitasking, saving a lot of time. So we're getting this done here, and then and come over into here, and you can see when we pull the petcock off and stuff, you can see all the, that's gasoline. Looks like oil, but it's really gasoline. So let me know if you're in love with these caps here. These aren't the genuine style. Some people like them, but I don't know. But anyway, as we were talking, your motor's pretty nice. I got some really good ideas for you, and I think that if we get rid of the chrome stuff, it's pitting all over. This one's not too bad, but this one's really, the chrome's coming off. And all your covers, the chrome's coming off. So I'm leaning towards polished aluminum stuff because you can maintain it. You're not gonna have to worry about anything. So that's where I'm coming from. So we're gonna work on it some more today. I think it's a cool bike. I think there's a lot of potential here. I see you got aftermarket coils on it and stuff. These were okay in the day. We can talk about that. I'd rather see you put good used ones on there, or I like good used genuine coils because we have a coil tester that puts a load on them and we can tell what the deal is. We got your cylinder head off. This is not too hateful. I mean, I don't see any damage. There's nothing that a valve job won't cure. This is all pretty good shape. Now we get to the cylinder. This is a little different story. I like the Martech ignition. Actually, Kawasaki sold those at the dealers with a part number, but I don't remember what it was. Okay, anyway, this is going to be a different story here. You got your cylinders are stuck to the pistons, the rings. So the motor, the bottom end does turn over. Hilo should give you a demonstration here what's happening here. So when we turn the motor over, make sure this isn't hot. Go ahead and turn it. So we turn the motor over, we got the cylinders coming with it. And see right here we got a liner that just popped out. So we're going to remove the liner here because this is shot. Well, it's not shot, but it's going to need bored. So it's nothing that can't be cured. We're going to get it apart and tell you exactly what you have to do. But it's not the end of the world, and the crank, most likely the crank is good. But this cylinder liner, which came out of the jug, is still connected to the pistons and the ring. Now, if you come to this side, you really can't tell you much, but I mean, this is just, the rust is crazy in here. So somehow we got some moisture or something. I don't know what happened, but water and machine parts don't mix. So anyway, we're gonna get this apart, and we're gonna save the cylinder. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll give you a call later on and talk to you about this. But as we stand right now, this is where we're at, and we're working on her all day. Chuck, we got your cylinder off. It feels like the crankshaft is good, but what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take the engine apart, because I suspect that there's a lot of trouble in here because of the moisture and stuff. So I think we should at least take we're going to at least get the oil pump out of there and stuff, and the oil pan, so we can see what's happening. You're this far, you need to really do it. So we weren't really anticipating you had cylinder damage, but then when we found out that you couldn't move the crankshaft, then we knew there was something wrong. So anyway, we should pull the motor out, take a look at it, and talk to you about it. But I wanted to say I'm thinking, depending on what your thoughts are for the motorcycle, this engine is in great shape. If you wanted to, I mean, now's the time to restore it. If you want to restore it, I personally, be my bike, I would clean it up, and I'd, put the covers on like we talked, the polished ones, to get rid of this chrome stuff, because this is trouble. Just see all the trouble you got right here with the chrome, and the chrome's coming off on the covers. This is the Japanese chrome on the metal. That's the only piece of chrome that's really good on the motor. But in my opinion, I think we should pull the motor apart, see what's happening, and then let's go from there. But I would just massage the parts that you have, fix them up a little bit, and let's. I'd make a nice everyday rider out of it with just a perfect engine. But we can talk about that. So we'll go from there. Now these are the pistons. I mean, this is these rings are part of the piston now. That'll never be right again. You gotta, the same situation here. I mean, you can, it's possible to patch it up, but I wouldn't do that. So anyway, we'll get the motor out of the frame, and we can take a look and see how everything looks on the bottom, or we possibly could just take the oil pan off and just take a look at the pump and stuff. Chuck, another thing I wanted to show you that we were just talking with Hilo about this is right here, the starter clutch. See all the slop right here? So we're going to have to fix the starter clutch. So, I mean, this gear's turning both ways. So, but you got all the slop here as we go to right here. So, well, we should, I think what we should do is, I was just talking to Hilo about this. Now's the time to figure out where you want to be on what you want to do with the motorcycle. If you want to clean it up and make it really nice looking like our bikes that we do, then you would have to do the vapor blasting and all that stuff. Then the motor would have to come down. If you want to, this is just my preference. If you want to leave it as an unrestored everyday rider, I mean, obviously clean up, change the handlebars and, fix up some stuff on it, and we could give it a serious manicure, maybe change some spokes, change the plating on the bolts and stuff as we showed you when you were here. We can do that, but we're fairly confident that we can just take the oil pump, the oil pan out, look at the oil pump, and I think we can flush all this out real nice. We just have concerns because of all the grit and the stuff, So no matter what, we got to at least take the oil pump and oil pan off and see what's happening there. So kind of let us know where you're at with, do you want to make an unrestored bike out of it, or you want to restore it? So we are there right now at this point. So. Cold, miserable Ohio winter morning on a Saturday. And don't tell anybody working on Saturday. But anyway, here's your oil pan. We did the right thing by taking it apart. You got some crap in there and stuff, so if we would have just got this running, you'd have never got rid of this stuff. So I can draw circles in it and whatever. So anyway, there's grit, there's stuff here going on. So the motor doesn't look too bad. So Hilo's flushed it out. So we're gonna clean the cases up and stuff while we got it apart. Someone's had this cover off right here. As you can see the glue and everything right here. So we're gonna put another cover under it. That's not chrome, because all the chrome's coming off your stuff. But anyway, someone's been in here before. So we're gonna clean the cases up a little bit, and we'll put replated hardware in here. But I think the best move that we did to preserve the motorcycle was to clean the oil pan out, because there's some stuff in there. So we sent the cylinder out to get bored for the pistons. If you come over here, here's your cylinder head. And we talked earlier, these studs are all nice. There's no broken fins. And now Hila's gonna pull all the valves out and inspect everything and do a valve job on it and everything. But this is not busted out here. These are notorious for breaking right there and everything. This is nice. This is a very nice piece. So a lot of potential here. So we will show you as we move along. But all in all, you got a pretty nice piece. And I got to tell you one more time, I'm so glad that we pulled this pan off and did what I had a hunch to do. Okay, thanks. We didn't vapor blast the cases or anything. We kind of left them as they were, but obviously they're cleaned up a lot. So we got a polished aluminum cover on here. We've got the new grommet that goes underneath here. These are the wires coming out for the regular rectifier that we're going to put on there. So we're waiting for the cylinder to come back. Hilo just dropped the motor in today. So we've had the whole motor apart. So it's got a new cam chain, starters in it. So everything's about ready. We're mainly waiting for the cylinder to come back from the cylinder man. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we just kind of wanted to show you. We should probably replace this because it's got chrome. We just want to show you what the chrome stuff is doing. That's why we elected to put that dyno cover on there. So we were going to put, just because you had all the battery acid damage and stuff in your box, we were going to put this powder coated stuff on and exchange it for yours. Now, I mean, this is just the difference. There's what we've done, and here's what most of the stuff look like. You can also see there's a little bit of battery acid damage on the swing arm here a little bit too. So this is what we're suggesting, but we'll do anything you want. I'm not sure about this ignition system. I would suggest either putting the stock stuff on it with the points, because I mean, it's just, I don't know. I would suggest going with if you're going to ride the bike, you want something dependable, I would suggest putting a Dyna on there, a Dyna ignition, lower and upper. That's what I would suggest. Now, you can see right here, we had this all masked off, and we just kind of spray bombed this a little bit right here. You know, we're going to keep it original. So this is what we did with just a spray bomb, but this is nice. I mean, this is sanding and everything to get it there. So we can do that back here. You know, we can make this all nice. And so like I was saying, this is powder coated for, and then here's your stuff. Pretty close. So, but you're saving a lot of money by not doing this, but you're going to have an unrestored motorcycle too. So we're waiting on the cylinder. That I'm just suggesting we bomb this, spray bomb this, make it, a nice spray bomb job is nice here. And then we should probably talk about the shocks and put some replated stuff on here. Now this is chrome. I get rid of those because it's going to come off eventually. And replace the hardware and stuff. And we should talk about the spokes a little bit. Or if you just want us to get it running right now so you can have some fun with it and keep this stuff as is, we can do that too. But you have to get you have to get tires. Absolutely, you have to get tires no matter what. Or I would anyway. Then we can talk about maybe a fender. We can talk about dressing the stuff up here too. We could give it a nice facelift. But the motor is going to be absolutely perfect. I'd replace this stuff here and I'd put a set of tires and think about the spokes if you want. We could do all this without going overboard. So let us know your thoughts. And we're continuing to move it along here. But I think we should probably go with the better ignition for dependability, because this ignition is probably every bit of 30 or 40 years old and things are changing. And here's your oil cooler. Do you want to use the oil cooler again? I mean, we can doctor it up. It'll take some time. We can't make it like new, but we're halfway familiar with fixing these, so we can probably straighten this out for you a little bit. Let me know if you want this on or not. Now, already we have the fittings for it on it. So these are your fittings, but we could get rid of all this and change this quickly. So whatever you decide you want to do, but this is nice. The motor is nice.
We changed this one.
Okay.
Hold bigger than can't hold.
Okay, we're changing your charging system rotor. Hilo says oblong right here real bad, so that's not good. You want to retain the chrome side stand. I mean, we've got black ones in stock. And we can fix up everything here because this is going to be, this is easy, and this is easy. This was the hard part here. So let me know what you want to do, and call me if you have any questions at all. Where we're at now is the bottom end is done, and underneath here you can see where we're at. We're putting your Martech ignition back in, see how it works. These are all polished covers. These are not chrome. All your chrome was coming off, and I'll show you your stuff later. But anyway, we're waiting on the cylinder to come back from the machinist. So as you can see right here, this is all, it's all pretty cool. Now, Hilo's got the rear wheel off. We're kind of going through this. We should probably kind of just touch this up. The fender, we cleaned it up a lot. But I think this will go well with the paint job. It's got a little bit of pitting here and stuff, but that's pretty cool. If you come around here, kind of complements the 87 license plate with the original screws you had it and stuff. But whatever you like there is fine. Okay, here's where we're at. We got your wheel off, and you can see that rear tire is just totally dry rotted. So, and not to mention the tires is bald. So, in a perfect world now, we should make a decision. Really, what do you want to do about the rear wheel? Do you want to leave it as is and just put a new tire on it? Or do you want to put spokes in it and stuff? But now is the time to decide. We got lucky and found a set of springs that I had. So we're going to clean these up a little bit and exchange springs here. So these are the green collars that were on your shocks. And we're clean these up the best we can. Make these look pretty cool. But the overall shock was good. Now I know we blasted them and everything. And so now we have a stock kickstand where your kickstand was chrome. And we talked about that earlier. So this is to replace your kickstand. This is the chrome's coming off, so this is probably not a good thing. We're going to put your oil cooler back on if you want it. Now's the time to tell us about that, because Hilo's pretty good at straightening out these fins and stuff. So that we can do. And we make a little bit nicer center stand stopper than this. This is to stop your, since you don't have original exhaust, this is for your center stand so it doesn't hit the chain, because the stock exhaust on there. We have a little better setup than that I think you should run ours. So we're going to clean all this stuff up a little bit, and we talked about taking all the chrome off. So we have black one of these if you so desire. So whatever you want to do. Now we got to replace these rubbers because they're all gooned. And the same with the other side. And you can see where that's gooned. It kind of happens with age. The bucket will just exchange one because we already have these already done. See how yours is all getting kind of gooned. The bucket's nice, but it needs a powder coat job. So we can exchange that for you. Your starter is cool. The gasket is probably somewhat well, it's starting to crack. Probably wouldn't hurt to put a new gasket on there. So we're gonna clean up these parts the best that we can. Got a little bit of rust on this one. We'll clean it up a little bit, see if it looks any better. But probably I would put a good used one on there. You don't want the aftermarket stuff because it's not nice, not nice parts. Now this is a cable, and this is not genuine. We have a lot better clutch cable in this. This is made by a company called Motion Pro, but we have these ones that we get from Japan that are a lot nicer than this one. So we'll put a clutch cable on it for you, and then we can exchange out all this hardware. We have all this in the bins. We got a couple issues pulling the brake cam out because it's been sitting frozen up for so long. So we're going to work this loose. We'll get this out of here, and you can obviously see the rusty waterish stuff that's been in there over the years. So why don't you give me a call as soon as you can when you get this, and then you can sit down and talk about some more details. But all in all, I mean, the bike is pretty good. Now the front tire is no good. It's dry rotted, it's cracked, it's worn out. Got the motor in the frame. We're going to put a different oil cap on because your chrome's coming off here. We just got this on temporarily. We have the shorter fork on there now. Now this is your fender. It's okay-ish. Like it's still got the flap here. You got some pitting here. It's not the end of the world. Here's the new spokes. Now the fender kind of matches the wheel since the whole bike actually came together. You can't buy anything better than the genuine rims. But you know, we kind of got it as like a unrestored, pretty clean bike. So you got some pitting here on your front rim, but I think that's good. Here's the spokes. These will last a long time like that. We talked about the Buchanan stainless steel. Got some minor pitting going on here, but everything is very, 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 very functional. The lower legs are polished out. Not a gloss, but a nice satin. So the fender is borderline. If you want to get another one, we can. I mean, obviously you have this extension down here. We're riveted on or screwed on, whatever. So anyway, here's your motor. This is all, the stator here is all rewired to accept that rubber plug that we normally put in them. The motor is ready. I'm going to put your oil cooler on there. So we're getting that all ready. We put a new horn on. Your horn was dysfunctional you had. We're going to try out your ignition, see what it's all about. And here's your new O-ring chain. These are the short shocks that we talked about that were on the Tree Man's bike. These are pretty cool. So you don't have the road clearance you had, so if you're going to ride it off-road, I don't suggest it. But we put our replated stuff on here. We kind of cleaned this up a little bit. There's a chain guard that we had to make for this bike because originally you took a plastic chain guard and that wouldn't clear because of the shocks. The shocks are too wide. So if you come back here, you'll see a nice cutout for the shock spring. Look right here, you'll see this cut out. This is cool. These are our shock bolts. This is all replated stuff. This is replated. This is replated stuff. This is just cleaned up nice. Here's your regulator rectifier. If you're underneath here, it's Rick's Electric. You won't have any trouble with that. Sealed battery. New cables right here. This is all nicely, tastefully done. These covers are not chrome, they're polished. So, not bad. This is all your stuff that cleaned up right here. So, this is okay. You're gonna like this. Then, we have, we put in 4 new exhaust valve guides, but we use the rest of your stuff. So you have to buy anything there except for the guides. And like I said before, this is nice, and this is nice unrestored. You know, no one's ever blasted this or anything. This is where you want to be, I think, anyway. So here's your Wiseco piston kit. This is mega nice, mega nice. I guess my main question today would be, do you want a fender or not? If you do, now's the time. We already got it up in the air. But let me know what you think about this. This is the condition I really like. I like unrestored bikes, and I like the idea that it's not a restored bike, and this is going to be pretty cool. Plus, it has a lot of meaning when you had it on and on. So, tell us what you think. Right now's the time to change anything that you don't like. We've got your brake pedal and all that stuff on, the motor's all together now. Got all your wires run like this. Hilo seems to think this coil setup's going to be okay. We'll find out. Your oil cooler has been gone through here. He straightened out the twisted up fins and everything. Looks pretty good. So we're going to try to get this fired up here next couple days. Now, we just looked at your carburetors, and they stink. Oh my God, do they stink. So like, this is the bowls. In a perfect world, we'll get the bowls looking like that. So that's what your bowls look like. So the towers here where the pins go are good. So I think we can salvage these. We're gonna rip this all apart, clean out the jets, put the stuff in the ultrasonic cleaner. Probably we'll replace the jets, most likely, because by the time we clean them out, they'll never be right, and it's easier just to throw new jets in because they're only like $3 a piece or something. So anyway, we're going to go through your carbs, but I just want to kind of show you, this is our latest deal here. And you know, we're going to replace some of these gaskets, and I'll try to come up with some nice carb caps for you. See how you got the chrome on them, and the chrome's coming off. Get rid of all that chrome and stuff, and these lines are like harder than Chinese algebra. And we're going to use the right clamps and everything. So we'll keep you posted. Just want to show you where we're at, but the bike is coming along. Boy, what a nice Christmas present to somebody this would be. Got the rear ends done. Brakes are hooked up and everything. All looking pretty good. All nice plated stuff. We kind of left this kind of rough here just because it's original paint here. We painted some of the frame, but not all of it. So this is all original stuff here. This is all pretty cool. I thought you'd like the way this is all starting to blend now. So now we have the carburetors on it. We've got chrome bowls, and this stuff was chrome. It was nice on your bike. It kind of matches this, but if you so desire, we can always put the stock stuff on it if that's what you want to do. Kind of matches a little bit to a certain degree. All the handlebars are on, the controls are on. This is all looking pretty good. And we'll try to maybe I'll try to find the original bands and stuff that go with it. So we got these on temporarily because they're just wire ties, keep everything up so we could put everything on it. Got the nice patina here of the turn signals and everything. Got the original screws here going in the headlight. Hilo straightened out your one bracket that needed repaired. We painted your headlight bucket. If you come to this side here, you can see the the different forks that we put on it. And then these are our bolts here. The brake and all, we kept the brake pretty nice as it was. Replaced some of this hardware and everything. So we got the motor all bolted in. We're kind of on the fence about the exhaust and stuff, what we're going to do. But I have a nice black exhaust we're going to fit to it and see how it looks. So I just kind of wanted to show you where we're at. It's all coming together. And we're also, we're going to put the body parts on it. So Hilo was working on the gas tank a little bit today. Well, not a little bit, but anyway. So what do you think about this this gas tank? How's that look? Does that look all right? I think it's pretty nice. Now, of course, he's rebuilding the cap and stuff. He's going to put new guts in it and everything, or good used guts with a new gasket and stuff. So we're kind of fixing your cap up. This is going to look pretty good. It's got the patina of the original bike, and I just love the way this all faded. This is a nicely aged setup. And here's going to be the cap after he's done rebuilding everything. So I think everything is looking pretty good. We're going to keep you posted. We're hoping to have this thing going here in a couple days. So, just wanted to show you the bike. It's a gorgeous day today, so we're going to ride it a little bit. We got 2 miles on it now. Look it over. We want to ride it a little bit. I wanted to show you because I'm 5'5", and this is pretty cool. I can sit. Notice I'm flat-footed on it. I mean, it's all cool. The best we can probably do with it today is just kind of ride it up and down the road a little bit, or ride up in our driveway a little bit, put some time on it. The roads still have salt on it, and we got a pretty nice polished out piece here. I think the salt wouldn't ruin it, but wouldn't do it any favors. So we don't have salt. We don't use salt on our property. So I'm gonna, spend a few more minutes riding it, playing around with it a little bit, and then let's see what we can do. It sounded good. I got it in gear right now, so it wouldn't roll down the hill, but okay. I love the way it's low to the ground. Motor sounds nice. Being that it's like 50 degrees, 40 to 50 degrees, I don't know how good the jetting's going to be, but it doesn't sound like it's too far off. It is off. I think it's pretty good. pistons and it really pulls. I don't know what it'll do on the road, but it feels good here. We'll get rid of that front brake squeak a little bit, but man, does this thing pull. It pulls. This is a good running bike. I think it's pretty much dialed in. I wish it was a little, the roads were a little better. Maybe it didn't rain or something last night or something, but whatever, I love to go out and ride this one. This is cool. This is a real hot rod. These pistons are good. Boy, that's smooth. I don't think you could ask for a better runner. This is nice. Very nice. I could do this all day.
Might have to.
All day. I know it's perfect. Motor sounds great. If I was a gambling man, I'd say it's ready. It'd be better put some time on it, but I'd hate to ruin it in the salt because there's salt out there. But man, what a nice combination with the electronic ignition, the bicycle pistons, the header, the air cleaners. I mean, this is pretty much dialed in. Well, let's talk about it. If there's anything else you want to do, let me know. And we're going to try to get rid of those the noise in that front brake. Hey Chuck, we're waiting for you to come. We're currently at our farm getting some pictures for you. This is a nice bike, and it's been really cool doing this one. We've said so much about it already. It's just like this is cool. We're going to take some more pictures of it and stuff for you. And I just hope you like the way it blends in. I think it's pretty cool. We got a 1975 Kawasaki Z1 900, which is a very, very desirable vintage bike. Original paint. We took this from the ground up. We have a video on YouTube of this motorcycle, and it's also going to be our featured bike in our new ad coming out in a vintage Japanese motorcycle club. And of course, we're featuring the Kenda retroactive tires, the 190/19 on the front, and 120/90/18 on the rear. This is the best thing going here right now, is the unrestored look. motorcycle is great again.
Woo!